friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, January 6th, 2024. Happy New Year. I am on here today to film a WIP parade, and I'm a little bit concerned that this video might go a lot long because I have a lot of WIPs. So by my count, I have 88 WIPs. And that's after I kind of pared it down a little bit. Some of the projects that I started during Stitch Mania that only had a few stitches in, I've taken out of this pile, and they're either unkitted and back in my stash, or they're kitted projects. I'm not counting them as WIPs, but I still have a lot of WIPs. So by my count, I have 88 WIPs. That does include the 24 that I showed in my plans video. So I'm not going to show those today. So that leaves about 65 to show you today. So I think we're just going to get started and go through them and see how this goes. I've never filmed a WIP parade on this channel, and it's time. I know this time of year you're kind of inundated with WIP parades. I was hoping I'd get mine filmed before the first of the year, but that didn't happen. So here we are. We'll see how it goes. A little forewarning, everything is in project bags. I'm gonna put it back into project bags, otherwise this is going to be a 2-day endeavor. And some of them are just in Ziplocs, so there's going to be rustling zippers. If any of that bothers you, go ahead and skip this video. You're not going to hurt my feelings because I'm not even going to know. So at one time, I did have all my WIPs sorted by designer, but I think that's kind of fell away. So these are just going to be in random order. And I'm going to do a little bit of cleansing today, I think. So I've got a couple of baskets down here. If there's something that's just not speaking to me anymore, I want it kind of sorted out, and I think we'll give it some thought whether or not I'm just going to get rid of those projects. And I know there's a lot of smalls in my WIPs, and I'd kind of like to sort those out if there's something that maybe I could finish this year and get this WIP pile whittled down a little bit. So first one on the top pile is Sweater Vest Weather by Lindy Stitches. I also feel like I moved into my dining room to have some more space today, and I feel like my camera's a little far away. So we'll see how this focuses. I don't know why I have so many needles in this little project. I need to get a needle minder and keep those separate. This is where I am on it. I believe I bought this as a kit. Is that gonna focus? From Lindy Stitches. So this is probably the called for fabric. It looks like it's a 32 count, probably taupe or mocha. And I'm pretty sure I'm using the called for threads. It looks, or maybe not. Nope, there's color and cotton and stuff in here, so I just pulled threads from Floss. Next up, this is one that I bought late last year, and I started it, and I don't think I got very far, but it is definitely one that I would like to come back to. This is from Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This is Tweet Tweet. It looks like I'm stitching this on 46 count Catnap from Leo and Roxy with the called for Roxy floss. I'm gonna start pulling needles out of these because I don't think I should be leaving needles in my projects. I'm not very far on this at all, but I'm gonna keep this kitted up as is. And I would like to work on this at some point this year. Look at these flosses. I'm not showing the chart. Are they pretty? Ugh, I love this chart and I need to put some stitches on it. I already have pretty big 2024 plans, so putting anything else onto those plans seems a little bit ambitious, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. I feel like this was a mania start a couple of years ago. This is Heartstring Samplery, The Stitching Life. Can't focus good enough. I'm stitching this 1/1 on 28 count. This looks like Earth and Lugana from Picture This Plus, with I believe I'm using floss from just my stash. I don't know. I'm not ready to let this one go yet because I love the project, but I'm wondering if 1/1 on 28 count was a bad idea and maybe I should restart it on something else. So this one was my birthday start last year. Oh, I don't have a good photo of it. This is from Ink Circles. I just have a black and white picture because I bought the digital chart. This is Turtles All the Way Down. And I started it, did I start this? Yes. This is 28 count? 27 count floral banding. So somebody on Flosstube, Barley, stop. Sorry. Somebody on Flosstube was stitching this on this banding and I fell in love with it. And so I found it. I'm stitching this with color and cotton floss. So I pulled out all the greens from my color and cotton stash. They're all tangled up, but I love this. I'm definitely not ready to get rid of this, but I need to put some more stitches in it. And this is housed in a Dot Goose sea turtle bag. I'm not going to show you all my project bags unless they are adorable like that. Well, all my project bags are adorable, but this is another Lindy Stitches. This is Autumn Royalty. So I really didn't have much done on this. Again, sorry, black and white photo because it was a digital. They're smalls. They have really good black coverage. There's no floss in here. I don't know what black I was using, but it was giving me good coverage on this. So this looks like it's probably 32 count Earth and Lugana from Picture This Plus. I don't know where the floss is. That's concerning. We'll figure it out. The Velcro, you can tell, is a Garon bag. So I have a cover sheet. Another black and white cover sheet. So this is I See Trees of Green from Heartstring Samplery. Terrible photo, but that's what it's gonna look like eventually. I don't have much done on this one either. I don't have much done on any of these. Can I call them WIPs if they're this? Oh, that's all I have is just a start of the border. I think this is a 40 count silk weaver fabric maybe, but I don't know what the color is. And I was just pulling floss from my stash. I love this chart, so I don't think I'm gonna get rid of it, but I hesitate to call it a WIP. There's no rules on cross stitch, right? I can call it anything I want to a WIP, really. Oh, this is one I need to get back to. This is Floral Etchings from Heart and Hand. And I have this kitted up to do it both on a 36 count salt brush from, I think that's a Fox and Rabbit. So I've got that in there with the called for threads. And then I started it on, I think this is 20 count. Does it have a tag? I don't know. At some point, Cecilia, the designer, had showed this as a big pillow, and I loved it both ways. This is my little start on this. So I think this is a 20 count linen with the DMC Floche, or not Floche, the DMC, what do I want to call it? Pearl Cotton. This needs to be in my touch this year. This is one that I might get rid of. This is Hands on Design, You Had Me at Flamingo. It's a really cute chart, but I just don't see it calling to me anytime soon. Looks like I'm stitching it with DMC. This is a 32 count white Lugana. I don't have very much done. Yeah, this one's going away. This is all I have done. So the chart will go back in my stash. The floss will go back into my, it's just DMC. It'll go back into my DMC pile, and then this will go away. So if I change my mind sometime in the future, I can always restart it and stitch it up, but I just don't see it calling to me anytime soon. We need to let go of some things. Okay, so this one I think I'm going to come back to and finish this year. So I kind of decided to not do a monthly series this year until I saw this and realized that I have a lot of it done already. So this is Hands on Design, Year of Celebrations. This is her first year of celebrations. There's a second set of charts. And I have stitched through June. So they're all sitting here. See, look, some of these, like there's January, February, March. They're all finished, FFO'd already. And then I have April, which it looks like I started stuffing it and stopped for some reason. May and June already complete. So I'm stitching all of these on 18 count Aida. I think it's mostly, I think it's a mix. I know, because for a while I was getting 18 count Aida from Color and Cotton. And then I stopped doing that club. Here's my start on July. Just a white piece of 18 count Aida. But I think this is one that I'll come back to and try to finish this series this year. I mean, if I've got through June already done, I have a bunch of 18 count Aida in this bag to stitch this on. So this will go into, let's finish this year. They're small charts and they really don't take that long if you can stay focused on them. And it looks like I'm using DMC, which I assume is the called for DMC. Good. All right. why this one didn't make my 24 list. I love this chart and I definitely want to finish it one day. This is from Lindy Stitches. This is Beautiful Things. I feel so far from the camera. And there's still quite a bit to stitch on this. This is where we are. This fabric is a 32 count color and cotton Maui. And I think that I'm using DMC, but I've made a couple substitutions. Like, it looks like I was using Classic Colorworks Morning Glory for that blue. And I think that's what I'll continue to do. Use probably DMC, but if something needs some variegation, I'll make some substitutions. I want to touch this year. This is gonna go over here. Let's put this back in. I don't think I'll finish it this year, and I don't think it'll be a focus piece, but I would like to get some stitches in on it. This one I would like to get done one day. This is Plum Street Samplers, This Happy Morning. Oh, I don't want to take stuff out of the plastic, so hopefully that'll focus. And I think that I bought this kitted from Country Sampler. And so it's with a 36 count hog bristle from Fox and Rabbit that looks like called forth the colors. And this is all I have done on it. So not much, but I do love this chart. So this one is not going away. But I don't know that I'll get to it this year. Sorry, I need a drink. Okay. Oh, I don't have the chart in here. That's okay. This is Heart and Hand Bluebird Sampler. I was working to finish all of these last year, and for some reason I stopped. This is as much as I have done. This is gonna go in my pile to get back to this year. Which is getting a little tall considering how many more projects I have to go through. This is Jan Hicks Creates Peaceful Christmas Smalls. I don't think this picture's very good either. They're really pretty, and I think I'm using the called for floss, which is a mix of Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks. And this is a 46 count something. It's probably an Atomic Ranch. This is as far as I am on this. I am trying to finish Christmas smalls this year. So this one's gonna come back out and go in that pile because I love these charts and they need some more progress. I have a lot of things I want to get to this year. This is another one I'd love to get done this year. Too many things to stitch and not enough time in the day. This is from the Blue Flower. This is the Autumn Bee. I got this as part of the Silver Needle Circle of Friends Club last year. So it's the chart and all the called for dinky dyes. And I did substitute out the fabric that they sent. I can't remember. They sent like a green colored fabric. And I pulled this purple out of my stash. This is where I am on the bee. This is definitely one I want to come back to this year. The flower, the silks and the the colors. I love everything about this. It really makes me wonder how I did my 24 list. This is a small that should probably be done this year, but if it does get done, it won't be until probably this fall. This is, I don't have a cover sheet from it. This was the costume party Sal from Hands On Design. And I'm pretty sure I bought the kit and I'm using all the called for DMC, whatever this fabric is. Looks like a 32 count. But this is where I am. This chart's so small and I need to get back to it. I forget what happened when the Sal was like active. There was a reason that I had to stop stitching on it. I don't know if it's because I was traveling or what happened, but we'll come back to that. Oh, that's a cute project bag. I think this is, yeah, this is an 805 Stitcher bag, Halloween bag. Alrighty. This is Hands On Design Memorial Day. And it seems like I only pull this out like around Memorial Day. And I'm never gonna finish it doing it that way. Here's the chart. I am using the Sulky thread pack for this and stitching it on a, I believe it's a 32 count. I know last time I had this out, I was gonna go measure it because I don't know that I left myself enough margin. You see the bottom, I'm at the grass on the bottom, which I might be okay. It's gonna have like a 1 inch margin on the bottom, so I'll probably be okay, but I don't know why I did that. I don't know what this fabric is. It's very soft. This is one I started last year and really didn't put any stitches into it. This is from Hands On Design, Let's Talk Stitching. Looks like I have the called for DMC and then a white DMC floche in here. 32 count black Lugana. That's all I have. I know that I did the spring one for an exchange last year and it stitched up so quick. So I need to come back to this and, sorry, I'm taking the needle out. I need to come back to this at some point. This is one that I was hoping I'd get finished in December, and then I got sidetracked on another project, which is almost done. So this one will be coming back out. This is from Lindy Stitches. This is Peppermint Candy. It was a Jingle Ball exclusive, but now it is available for everybody. And it's super cute. I'm pretty sure I purchased the kit. So this is the called for 32 count chai from Seraphim Fabrics with the called for threads, which is a mix of classic color work, some forbidden fiber, a weeks, and probably some DMC. Here's where we are on Peppermint. I really wanted to get that done last year. It's gonna go in the let's finish this year pile. Because I recall really enjoying stitching on it. Okay. This one is from the Blue Flower and Lindy Stitches, which I don't know where the Lindy Stitches part is. This is the Spring Forest scrapbook. Here it is. So there's the Lindy Stitches part and the blue flower. I was gonna stitch all of it on one piece of fabric so that it looks like, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. And I believe I got called for 40 count silver fox. No, this is not a 40 count. This looks like a 32 count to me. I'm using 2 strands, so it's got to be a 32 count. This is all I have done, just the start of the border. So another one that I hesitate to call a WIP, and I don't think I've touched it since the day I got it and started it. Sorry, I'm trying to see what the dogs are doing. Here's another Lindy Stitches. This is Strutting Tom. This one is going to be a finish this year. Wanted it to be finished last year and I didn't pull it out. Here's where I am on it. So this is a small that needs to be done. If I actually finish all these, my WIP pile will be reduced by a lot. Okay. This is I have a cover sheet. Apparently I don't have a cover sheet. I'll see if I can add one. This is from Heartstring Samplery, Someday at Christmas. This is on a 40 count Be Stitch Me Not Another sampler. And I don't have very much done. It looks like I started the border. This is a tough call. I think I'm gonna hang on to it and from now, but this could be one that I could see going away. I do love it, but I don't know. Maybe if I put some time into it, I would change my mind about things. This is a blackbird that I started last summer. But don't ask me why it's not done yet. This is from the book In Friendship's Way. And the chart I'm doing is, God, I love blackbirds. I want to stitch them all. The winter is past. It's this one. It's the one on the cover. And I started it on a 46 count with, I believe, just some floss from my stash. That's the top. I don't know why I put this away and didn't just finish it last year. I really wanted, it would take me like 2 days to get it done. I feel like I had a plan to finish this for something too. I'm gonna have to think back and figure out what that was. It's another blackbird design. This is Tricks or Treats. And it is the blackbird. Stitching this on a 32 count extra design farm eggs with, I believe, the called for colors. Where's my stitching? I was like, I know I had some stitches in this. I have floss just hanging out, so sorry if that bothers you. Barley's bothering me. This is where we are. So this fabric is like, looks like you spilled something all over it, and it seemed perfect for a Halloween stitch. This one's not going away because I absolutely love this chart. I just want to start all the things, and that's my problem, is I don't finish anything and I have all these WIPs hanging out. This is from the Cottage Garden. This is Strawberry Harvest. There was one summer when I just wanted to stitch all the strawberry things. And I think that's when I started this. So this is on a 32 count Seraphim Petals in the Wind. This is where I am. This fabric is so pretty though. Let me see if I can show it better. You see it's blue and then it's got pink modeling through it. It's so good. I think that's why this project just keeps hanging out, is because I love this fabric so much. I mean, I love the chart too, so. Okay. This is, what is this? I'm not going to show this one. So this is the Country Cottage Needleworks, the Beach Boardwalk series. And I've showed this in a video a few times where I restarted it, I restarted it again. I've got more fabric in there I haven't restarted it on yet. So we're just going to skip that one. Hi, Riley. This is Country Cottage Needleworks Give Thanks. And I have not touched this in forever. This is one I'm going to have to think about if I really want to stitch it. It's beautiful, but this is all I have done. I think this is gonna go in a maybe pile. And if I don't touch it this year, then it might just have to go away. This might be another one of those. This is Country Cottage Needleworks. It's Snow Cold. This looks like a 28 count tea-dyed Lugana, and this is all I have done on it. It is pretty on this fabric, but it's going in the maybe pile, as in, and maybe we'll be getting rid of this. This one I will not be getting rid of, but I desperately need to put some more stitches into it. I know that. This is, I cannot pronounce this designer's name, so I'm going to show it to you. I don't know. This is the Color of Air. I do know that much. I am using the Called For Soirage silks, and this is 46 count Albarium from Cedar River Linen, and that's my little start on it. It says 46 count, so it's a little start, but that's a lot of stitches. Violet came in here. Is it focusing? What you doing? I might have to pause this and let her outside. You go outside? Go to the door. Okay. pause for a minute. So the dogs are outside until they bark. Then we might have to pause again. Okay. This is from Erica Michaels Design. This is Olga Diedrich. It was a class I took last year where I already stitched up the little box and the little berry. Those have been stitched and FFO'd. But there's also this little sampler that she included. So I do need to get back to this one. I loved stitching on this. This is where I am. Using the called for, I believe, Oriana silks with, I don't remember what this fabric is. I know it's a legacy linen and I want to say it's a 37 count, but I don't know the color. This is a comeback too this year. Hi. Good boy. Should go outside? This is, oh my gosh, I've got floss everywhere. This is a Hands Across the Sea. This is Ellen Barber, 1895. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count white Lugana with DMC that I think it's mostly called for, maybe a conversion or two. I'm really drawn to the samplers that are the bright colors. This one is Brenda Gervais, Rudolph and Friends. So I bought the Katie Striken conversion kit. So I'm using 103 silks on this. I don't know what this fabric is. Looks like a 40 count. This is where I am. So I've got, oh, the border's not even done because I haven't added the berries. I need to get back to this one. This one's gonna be left out pile. It can go in my Christmas stitching pile this year too, because that shouldn't be that much to finish. A couple days and it would be done. I don't know what this is. Oh, this maybe needs to be left out for Valentine's Day. This is a Brenda Gervais Love Notes. And I'm stitching these on a 40 count mallow, and that's all I have done. Should maybe leave this out for February stitching. I keep saying that, and I'm gonna leave more projects out than I'm gonna possibly be able to touch, and I'm gonna get overwhelmed again. Whatever. This is where all my floss has been hiding out. This is ridiculous. You guys, look at all this floss in this bag. I think that I was going to pick floss from my stash for this chart. It must have been when I was traveling and I just grabbed a bunch, because not all that is used for these. with a needle and thread. Jekyll and our Jubilee. That's funny. And it looks like I'm stitching this on a 40 count cafe latte, which I believe is an extrude design. And I have that much done. Oh my goodness gracious. There's like all my overdyed floss. No wonder I can't ever find a color. It's mostly color and cotton, but there's Classic Colorworks and some Weeks and everything in here. Okay, let's leave that one out. This is with a needle and thread, Coming to America. This is one of the patterns that why I decided I don't like the vinyl front project bags anymore, because am I showing some of the chart? My pattern got caught on it, you know. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know that I'm ever gonna stitch this. This is going in the maybe pile. I was all gung-ho when it came out and I started it, and I don't know why I fell off. Here's what I have done. I know I bought it as the kit, so this is, I think this is 40 count vintage country mocha. Ugh, it is cute. It's definitely not calling to me right now. It's very wrinkled. I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile. Okay. Let me pull out another pile here. Might need to go get him. The dog likes to stand out on the porch and bark at the neighbor's house. Their dogs are never out, but if they were out, he would be running to the fence. So this is Little Mouse Needleworks Honeybee Sampling. And it looks like I'm probably using the called for. And this is a 28 count fiber on a whim Berkshire hive. So it's the one that's got the beehive printed on it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. This is definitely one I want to come back to. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause. I'm gonna have to go get back. Dogs are all in here. I can't guarantee they're gonna stay quiet. This is I don't have a cover. This is Eugenia Holt from Little Robin Designs. I have no idea where the cover is. I was stitching this 1/1 on a 28 count. I don't know what this fabric is. I think it's one I got at StitchCon. Oh, here we go. It's a Grace Notes 28 count Lugana almond milk. And I was using silks from my stash. So I don't know where the cover page went. Riley, what are you doing? Go lay down. Go find some place to lay down. Barley, go lay down. Okay, this is from The Little Stitcher. She did a series of birds, monthly birds. I had stitched up January and February, and that third one was March. I have this listed as calendar birds, but I don't think that's what it's called. Oh yeah, Little Bird's Calendar. So I don't have a cover page. March is gonna be a chaffinch. And this is just a 32 count vintage country mocha. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I feel like I've maybe purchased all the birds. It looks like I have at least March and April in here. So I don't know if I wanna just keep it in my WIP pile and with the hopes that I'll come back to it. I do love them. They are adorable. And I don't remember them being hard stitches. I don't know. I need to be independently wealthy where I can just sit and stitch on everything all the time and not have to work. This is Lizzie Kate Halloween Rolls. I'm stitching it all on one piece of fabric, so it's gonna look like that if you can see it. I believe I'm using a 32 count mocha linen, and this is our progress. I'm definitely not ready to give up on this one. I don't know when I'm gonna come back to it, but it's gonna stay in the WIP pile because I still love it. Next is from Luminous Fiber Arts. Alrighty. This is Boohoo. Luminous Fiber Arts is one that I have a tendency that when she releases a new pattern, I buy it and usually buy the kit and never make any progress on them. So, this is where I am. I think this is the cat. So a lot left to stitch on these, but I still do really like the pattern. There's only one floss in this bag. I don't know where all my floss went. Probably in with the Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee. That cracks me up. Okay, here's another Luminous Fiber Arts. This is the Christmas Bird Trio. And it looks like I'm stitching this on 32 count Soft C from Luminous Fiber Arts. And this looks like the Bluebird. And that's how much we have done on it. I definitely love these ones, and it's a contender for Christmas patterns. But I'm gonna put it just back in with everything else for now. This is Luminous Fiber Arts Gathering Berries, which I don't have the chart for. She's done this whole series, so I've got Gathering Clovers in here too, but I haven't started this one. And I stitched Gathering Snowflakes back in November as an exchange. I don't know which way this is supposed to go. That's all I have done. This is 40 count Sparrow from Luminous Fiber Arts, which I think is probably the called for fabric. But I'm pretty sure I'm using the called for silks. This is Luminous Fiber Arts Haunted. And I love all of love Misty's charts, and I don't know why I can't seem to power through and finish any of them. So I don't even know which one this is. I'm gonna guess it's the blackbird in the middle, up at the top. This one. This is 40 count mochaccino from Luminous Fiber Arts. That's all we have done. And another Luminous Fiber Arts, which I don't think I have a cover page for. This is one of her mystery cells. And it's one that it can either be, you can stitch them all together. I had cut them apart because I was gonna make them into little pillows. And I started all 3 parts and didn't finish a single one. So there's the ghost, the cat, and the witch. This is a 32 count fabric, but I don't know what it is. And I don't know why I've left them all half done. So these might need to go finish these this year pile. This is from Owl Forest Embroidery, and I don't think I have the cover page for it in here. I bought the kit, so I'm using the Owl Forest floss with the a 32 count fabric that came with it. This is Dinosaur Forest. And this is all I have done. There seems to be a theme with that's about as much as I have done on all my projects. Just really terrible. I'm definitely a process stitcher. I like to start things. I like to stitch on things, but I rarely finish anything. This is Plum Street Samplers of Red Cottage. This has been in my WIP pile for a very long time. I never tracked dates and stuff, so that's why I don't. I know some of the Flosstubes would be like, I started this in 2022, it's my 2022 WIPs. I have no idea when I started this. Sorry, there's a needle in here. That is like twisted in the fabric. What the heck? Let me get that out. Okay. This is where we are at it. I think I'm using floss from Stash and maybe DMC. I've started the cottage and the big flower. I do still love this one, which is why, I don't know why it's been carried on as a WIP for so long. Definitely a theme with how much stitching I got done on one thing. This is Plum Street Samplers of Foxview. Focusing. And this is all I have done. About the same amount. It's really funny that all my projects have about the same amount of stitching on them. It's probably what, 200 stitches maybe? You would think that I'd done that on purpose, but I guess that's where about my attention span. I think this one's going away. This is a Modern Folk Embroidery freebie that he put out last year or so. there's no floss in here. It was after the Ukraine war started, and it says peace in Ukrainian. I think I was probably using the called for colors. It's almost done, but I just don't feel that I have much desire to finish it. So I think this is probably gonna go in the go away pile. I have no idea how much time has elapsed. I keep having to pause it because of the dogs barking. This is Red Barn Samplers Betty Sumner 1822. And I know why I stopped working on this one. It's because I started it on 46 count linen and realized that all the verse, so all of that light blue verse, is stitched 1/1. And I wasn't sure I could do 1/1 on 46 count, but I think that I'm gonna try it. So I'm definitely gonna come back to this one. I'm stitching it on 46 count silver lining linen from Seraphim Fabrics with the called for 103 silks. So can we see that? I don't have a whole lot done, but I absolutely love this chart. And I like this linen, so I'm gonna try it. And if it doesn't work out, then I will find a higher count fabric and start over, I guess. What can I do in the stay out pile? This, I believe, is another Al Forest embroidery. This is the black sampler. And I have it kitted up with Color and Cotton Midnight. But a lot of that. Here's what it looks like. This looks like, I don't know what this linen is. It's like a 32 count, something or other. That's all I have done. This is gonna go in the maybe pile. I just don't see myself working on it anytime soon. So I don't know. I'll keep it for now. We're almost there. This is the Little House Needleworks Hometown Holiday, and I'm gonna come back to this. So I had purchased, I don't know how many charts there are in this. There's like 10 or 12 of the little houses. I finished one of them, and I don't know where the chart to this is. This is the train station. And this is what I have done. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm using an opalescent Picture This Plus 28 count dwarf Lugana with the called for threads. And my plan had been to stitch all of these to make my Christmas village. And I still want to do that. So this is not going to go away. Slow progress, but I'm gonna come back to this one for sure. Maybe not this year, maybe not till this fall, but definitely coming back to it. I don't have a cover sheet for this either. This one might go away. This is Satsuma Street. It was the freebie that she gave out in 2020 when everybody was doing the COVID freebies. It says let's stay home, and I think there's a big rainbow and stuff on it. I don't see myself coming back to this one, so I think this is gonna go to the going away pile. Just have DMC in here. This one I'm gonna finish. I was gonna finish it this fall and I don't know why I never pulled it out. This is from Stitching with the Housewives. This is the Fall Adorables. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count black Lugana. That's all I have done. I know that I bought the finishing board for this, and I have the Christmas one. I want to stitch this. This one's gonna stay out, Kyle. I know what this bag is. I don't have cover sheets for these. These are, back when Stitching with the Housewives started to release their patterns, I would buy them and start them as they were coming out, and then I couldn't keep up. So I think this is one of their little ornaments. I think this is the one that says Merry Christmas on it. Another needle sticking in here. No wonder I can never find a needle. They're all in my projects. And then I think this is the little patriotic truck. I do think I want to come back to these. I just lost it. I think I got overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that the Housewives was releasing, and I could never keep up, and I still do really love them. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is Stone Street Stitch Works Where Liberty Dwells. And for whatever reason, I started stitching this one over 1 on 28 count. I still really like this chart, but I think that it's going to go away and be restarted. Not 1 over 1 on 28 count. I don't know why I did that and didn't just like stitch it on a 40 count if I wanted it small. Would have been way easier. We're almost there. Well, this is the end of it, so 5 or 6 more. I don't have a cover page for this. This is from Sub Rosa Design. This is the Stitcher's House. I don't think there's much more. I might just finish there is a border on it, but I think I could get away just not doing the border and go ahead and finish this. This looks like it's 1 over 1 on 28 count as well, but I have a lot more done. So it's a little house on a thimble, or on with a little flowering vine around it. I don't think I'm ready to get rid of these ones. This is the Fragment in Time series that came out in 2020. So I don't even know which one I'm stitching. But it's these ones. So there's Serenity, Harmony, Humility, Charity. And I think I was planning to stitch them all on one piece of fabric, and this is as much as I got done. Kind of my standard, what is maybe 100 to 200 stitches before I get bored with a project. I don't know why I'm like that. This one's staying out, and let's finish this year. This was another Silver Needle Circle of Friends chart. This is from the Scarlet House. This is Autumn Garden. And this is what I have done on it. This is so funny. Like all of my stitching has like the same amount done. Can definitely tell that I'm a process stitcher. Because I get something new and shiny, I stitch on it for a day or two and then I'm ready for something new. It's definitely how I am. That's why I have so many WIPs. Oh, this one I want to come back to for sure. This is Teresa Kogut, Hope for the World. This looks like it's probably a 32 count linen that I copied and tea dyed. And this is what I have done on it. About the same amount on all my WIPs. These are a couple of Prairie Schooler Santas that I had started. It is the 2020 Santa. Which again looks like a 32 count piece of linen that I had coffee dyed. These are so wrinkled. I don't know that you're seeing them very well, but that's okay. And this little Santa, do I have a picture? This is from a magazine. I don't know which one. It looks like maybe just a Just Cross Stitch magazine. And it's this little guy. And this is what I have done on him. I do have a couple of Prairie Schoolers, so I've nowhere near stitched them all. I've only stitched like 2 or 3, but I did see them on my tree this year and think that I need some more Prairie Schoolers on my Christmas tree. So that will happen at some point. This is Prairie Schooler, maybe Summer and Winter. And I think the only one out of these that I've started is July. So it's the eagle in the middle. I think this was another series where I wanted to do all of them. Maybe that's what I'll do next year for a monthly series. And this is where I am. I don't know that I took this to StitchCon. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before is when I was working on this. Because I remember we were working on it at the airport because my flight had been delayed or something. And last year I drove to StitchCon, so. One more. I feel like I'm missing some. This is the Primitive Hair Home is Where My Stitching Is, with this big giant white house. So I believe I bought this as a kit from Kitten Stitcher. So it's probably the called for fabric. I had to guess Primitive Hair, it's a 30 count. something or other with the called for floss. And this is where I am. This is the one that I think if I pull it out again, I might change that white to a DMC Flosh. It looks like we're just using DMC white anyway. Yeah, it's just DMC white. So I think I would change that to a Flosh, and I think it would stitch up. My stitches would lay better and I would like it better. When I pull that out again at some point in the distant future, I'll have to remember that. So that's all my WIPs. I have no idea how long this has been. I do feel like I'm missing some. Wonder if I have another basket somewhere. That's bad. I have too many. I have a huge pile here that I would like to touch this year, but I think the next time I do a WIP parade, which probably won't be until, I don't know, maybe next year, next December, I'm only going to show the ones that I work on in 2024. So there's a couple in here that you might be missing that I had been pretty actively stitching on. I'm going to save those for my next Flosstube video. One I have sitting over there that I think I'm going to finish it this weekend, which, if you can tell from my WIP parade, is a big deal because I don't finish very many things. And so when I do finish something, especially a large project like that, it feels really good. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully this won't be too long once I get it all spliced together. I'll hopefully get all the dog barking out of it before I post it up. So until next time, I should be back relatively soon. I want to finish the one I'm working on, and then I want to show you my 12 by 12 progress and everything else that I have going and planned. So I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.